Welcome everyone on this new channel where we will discuss the latest news in the world of video games and provide you with the best reviews ever. Today we're going to review Stray, which is a third-person action-adventure game in which you play as a cat. The game has been developed by the new independent studio Blue 12, which is, by the way, their very first game. The game has been released on July 19, 2022 and is available on PlayStation and PC platforms. It is currently on sale for 37 Canadian dollar or 30 US dollar. Stray takes places in a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk world in which humans have strangely all disappeared. The majority of the game takes place in an underground city in which early in the game the protagonist gets stuck and tries to escape. In this city there are robots with artificial intelligence. These robots are trying to survive against small carnivorous bugs called the Zurks, who are, by the way, the main enemies of the adventure. The game is a platformer but very simplified. Indeed, the game consists of moving from level to level in a course designed for a cat. Jumps are made from platform to platform automatically when the contextual action button is pressed. Thus, it is impossible to die. In addition, there are also environmental puzzles. For example, the observation of the environment can allow to find batteries to power a computer, or to find a code for a locked door, or a way to cross an air vent blocked by a spinning fan. Any object can help the protagonist. You can also open passages by lowering bridges, drop objects underground, and much more. The proposed puzzles are quite simple. It will probably not be necessary to consult a guide. The game doesn't really have combat sequences, however, there are different gameplay sequences. The first one consists in escaping from enemies during chases, the second one consists in avoiding enemies without being spotted during stealth mission. In short, the gameplay resembles what we find in adventure games such as Uncharted and Tomb Raider, except for the combat sequences. Stray does not innovate in terms of gameplay, however the game is unique because you play as a cat. All the gameplay revolves around this fact. During the adventure, our protagonist is accompanied by a small drone named B12. B12 can translate certain inscriptions, communicate with the inhabitants of the city, and hack into computer systems. B12 is also equipped with an infrared light that can eliminate enemies. The pace of the game is excellent, with platforming, puzzles, chases, infiltration, and cinematics in such a way that we don't get bored. We don't have the impression of staying too long in one place or to perform the same action. The game has no difficulty option and is not difficult, so it is accessible for all types of players. You don't have to be a cat lover to enjoy the title, however, those who are will enjoy the title much more. There is a dedicated button to meowing in the game. You can also perform actions such as clawing on the carpet, taking a nap, or performing dirty tricks. In my opinion, the camera is the negative aspect of the game. Indeed, it is sometimes difficult to find your way around in closed spaces. Otherwise, in some situations, the camera clips off the avatar views. However, this is nothing too disturbing. Considering that the game comes from an independent studio and that the purchase price is half of a AAA title, Stray offers very attractive graphics. This is to be expected because the game was developed using the Unreal game engine. However, there is no ray tracing option. The art direction is exceptional. The cyberpunk underground city environment is well executed and well detailed, which makes the exploration of the city interesting. The levels are horizontal as well as vertical, which is important since you play as an agile cat. As far as the non-player characters are concerned, they are pretty standard. They are robots that all look more or less the same. This is a common practice within the independent studios to reduce the cost of the game. The animation, especially those of the cats, are exceptional. The way the cat moves and jumps from platform to platform is very well represented, which accentuates the impression of playing as a cat. The soundtrack of the game is excellent and suits the atmosphere of the game. The game has several cinematics, however, there is no voice acting. It is possible to chat with the NPCs, but the dialogue are transmitted using text bubbles. These are the result of a translation by our dear friend B12. The dialogues are short and to the point. The game is very short. It only took me 4 hours and a half to complete the campaign. There is no replayability element except for a few collectibles such as musical pieces or V12 memory that allow you to learn more about the game universe. Regarding the performance of the game for the PC players, I played it with an AMD Radeon 6800 XT and 4K with the graphics setting at maximum, and I got pretty stable 60 frames per second. However, I did encounter a few frame drops, but they didn't detract for the experience because they were quite rare. During the game, I only encountered one audio bug, so you can say that the game is quite well polished. To conclude, Stray is a game that I recommend. The gameplay is pretty standard except for the fact that you control a cat, but the whole thing is very well executed and polished. In my opinion, Stray will probably be nominated for the Adventure Game of the Year. I recommend this game to any adventure game fan or anyone looking for a relaxing and simple game. I find this game to be the perfect way to unwind after a hard day at work. I also recommend this game to anyone who is not used to play video games. I give Stray a 2 out of 3 rating, which means that I recommend it according to the 4-point system that we'll use on this channel. I will introduce this rating system in another video. On that note, I'll see you next time.